Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I'm going to be doing a video on planners that I've used in 2021 and why they worked for me and why they didn't. I think overall, as far as the planning community goes, this year, well, I guess it started last year with, the whole world coming to a screeching halt with the pandemic. I started falling out of love with the planner community as a whole. Not planning and not planners, but maybe the vibe of the community. But I feel like that's like a whole separate video that I may or may not do. But this year in particular, with the losses that we've experienced personally and within our families, I think that it's just kind of made me stop. Like at one point, I really thought that I was just going to sell every single planner that I owned and buy a notebook and carry around to-do lists and a little pocket calendar. Like I was completely over it. And although I'm not there now, I feel like that still might be something that happens in the future. I don't know. But I feel like there was only one thing this year that I tried that was actually new. And, we'll talk about that in a minute, but I kind of was falling back onto things that I had used and loved in the past and was kind of irritated at the fact that it wasn't working now in the present. And it could just be that my life changed. But I wanted to show you kind of where I've been and what I've done. I don't remember where I even started the year. I think it might have been in personal rings. And I still do love personal rings. I can see myself going back to them. I love the shape, and I love the functionality that rings bring me and the ability to take things out and put things in. I think of all of the Filofax models that the Malden is my favorite. I don't know if you can kind of tell a theme here. I've gone from wanting to collect like every possible color to being obsessed with just like black and brown. And then I love this warm toned brown the best, which of all of the things that I'm currently going to show you, this is going to be the one that has like the least richness to it, this ochre Malden. But as much as I love a personal size Filofax and as much as I love this particular Malden, every time I try to move back into this, I am so irritated by this small pen loop that I'm not able to enjoy it thoroughly. It's dumb. And some of them are better than others. This is one of the smallest ones that I have found. And as much as the community has kind of always complained and cried about this particular pen loop, I have no idea why Filofax refuses to change it, to make it a little bit bigger or elasticize it. I can understand them not wanting to put elastic in this model, but I don't understand them not making the pen loop just a little bit bigger so that you can use a darn pen in it. It makes me insane. And so, like, honestly, just a couple of weeks ago, I tried to move back into this planner and I was like, you know what? I'm not willing to only put one pen in it. For this particular one, it's so thin that there's like a slim line friction pen. Hold on, I might have it here. Yeah. So there's this friction point, which I replace with a different refill, and it will fit. And then these with a cap will fit in this particular one. And otherwise I have to use an extra pen loop, which then I'm fighting with this, and the extra pen loop doesn't sit correctly and it drives me nuts. So as much as I love this planner, I don't know that I can force myself to use it anymore. And that might seem like a really dumb reason to have a planner fail, but it's like I don't have the time or energy in my life right now to not have something that's completely functioning for me, if that makes sense. So I did pare down my collection quite a bit. This is actually the only, no, I have a couple of different Maldens, but I'm really into the brown or black thing right now. And so this is the only one of those two colors that I have. And I love the original as well, but I'm always worried now that I'm going to get marks on it. And so I used to carry them all of the time, and now I just don't at all. So mine sit on the shelf. But yeah, tried this and ended up not using it anymore. And it's really dumb, I realize, to say that I stopped using it because of the pen loop, but that's really one of the main reasons that I stopped using this planner. Then I tried the A6 rings, which I love this so much. And I have it still set up. I'd have to update some of the pages in it, the inserts, because I stopped using it in June. But I absolutely love this planner. This is a Vanderspec Touch Me in the Tobacco, and this is the only planner that I have purchased straight from Vanderspec. And I have this in the Tobacco and the, is it just black? Forgive me, I don't remember. But I purchased that one on eBay, and I love them both. And I do love this planner. I love the leather. I think I might prefer the shape of a personal size better, but I love the width the A6 gives you. So although the size is a little, you know, kind of strange, especially when you're coming from a personal size and having that like more rectangular shape, this works really, really well for me. To be honest, I stopped using this one because at the moment I was stressed out about printing more inserts, which I have a love-hate relationship with that whole thing. Part of the time I really love that and I feel crafty, and I enjoy printing it out and cutting it and hole punching and all of that. And sometimes I'm just like, I just need something that has everything in it already and I don't want to deal with this anymore. And so at that time I was very, very stressed, and I was like, ugh, this again, more inserts. And I was just like, you know what? No, I don't want to. And so for right now, this one is shelved. I can see myself going back with this one very easily. It doesn't hold just any pen, but my options are a lot broader than with the Malden. I love the layout of this planner, and I love the leather, and I love that you can have 2 pens in it if you want to. And there are card pockets here in the back if you want to use it as a wallet, and it has that pocket here. So this one is definitely staying in the running. I honestly don't know if I'm even going to keep this Malden. I might part with this one, but this one is staying, and will stay in my collection. The other thing that I tried was another blast from the past, and I don't even honestly know. Oh wait, here in my pile of stuff that needs put away. I just lied. Okay, so I was gonna make a run on pocket size planning again, which had worked for me in the past and I liked. So I ordered this insert from Yellow Paper House, and I don't know what I was thinking because I always prefer white pages. I think I ordered this in a stressed moment. Let me see if I can find the other one. Oops, there goes. Let me see if I can find the other one here. So I ordered 2 inserts from Yellow Paper House, and sorry, I have a stack of photos over there. This is a daily, and this one is the monthly, and those are the only 2 that I ordered. I also printed something out from Annie Plans, and I apparently am not a traveler's notebook person. I couldn't figure out how to get it with the pages not all spilling out, and I couldn't get the staple in the right place, and I was like, well, this is definitely not for me. But so I ordered both of these, and I ordered them in these warm colors that I thought that I would love, and as soon as I got them I was like, what are you doing with your life, woman? So I haven't used these. And this is part of the struggle that I've had lately with the planner community, is just looking around at the money that I've wasted on things that I no longer use. And that is incredibly stressful. But then when you sell things, you often lose a crap ton of money on what you're selling. And it's just like, what's worse? You know, wasting money and or not getting nearly what you paid back. So stressful. But pretty quickly on, I threw several books in here, and I was like, I don't want to plan over the books, and it was pretty quickly abandoned. However, this is a Chic Sparrow cover in pocket size. This one is creme brulee, and it is very near and dear to me, and I know that I will pop in and out and find uses for it throughout my life. And so this particular cover is going absolutely nowhere, and I love it so much. And then at some point, and I think this actually came before the whole pocket situation, I decided that I wasn't wasting enough money and decided to order this Hobonichi Cousin. And it is the spring. No, it's not the spring. Let's see. Nope, it's the full year. Even better. So I did like a couple of fountain pen, like planning days, and then I did a couple of journal entries. I was going to do the whole wellness and work and to do and blah blah blah, and I ended up doing 1 week, I think, in here. Yep, 1 week, and even less than that in the daily pages. So there was $40 well wasted, and I tried it for those few days and haven't picked it up again. So that's always fun. So the reasons why that doesn't work for me really is that I'm irritated that I can't use any pen with the Hobonichi paper, the Tomoe River paper, which I didn't realize was going away, but I was schooled on that in comments on my last video. But I've got a love-hate relationship with it, and I need to be able to pick something up and grab it quickly. And even with my larger planner that's in the lineup, so let me show you the difference. Even if I were using my larger, in my lineup, ring planner, it's still a lot bigger, and it is thick and bulky, which of course, yes, I know if you get the effect that it's not quite as bulky, but I felt like it just had too much going wrong for it. I would use this if it was stay at home, but this is not a size that I want to pick up and carry with me. Even when I'm carrying a backpack, I try to pack it as minimally as possible, and I don't like having a bunch of extra stuff. And if I can get away with carrying a much smaller purse, then I do that. And so when I look at the A5 size, I don't see portability, I see a cumbersome something to schlop around with. So this one didn't work out for sure, and I would see this as a stay-at-home something. I've used this for soap study before, you know, Bible study, if you're going to journal. But for me, this is too much space to journal. I don't like journaling. No, I don't not like journaling, but I don't journal religiously enough. I'm looking for a different word, but my brain can't find it. But I don't do it enough that a book like this, or a book with a page this large, is really the best choice for me, and I have no idea why I thought that it would be. And I needed to tell myself this because it's July, it's towards the end of July now, and September is rolling along, and I need to like write somewhere for myself, Samantha, you know that the Cousin is not for you. So whatever you see, no matter what, any kind of YouTube video that may befall you while you're trying to go to sleep at night, don't do it, don't buy it, it's not you. So this is one that I don't know. I think I could make it work, but so far, I don't know. So this one I had looked into a couple of times, and then I saw, wait, I think her name used to be something that I just started to say, but it's now Planning Small. Mandy really loves this little planner, and I do too, and I would love nothing more than to make this particular planner work because I love it so much. This is a planner, honestly, that if I was getting ready to throw every single planner away, this would be the planner that I would carry anyway. It's only like 20 bucks. You can find it on Amazon. There are hardcover versions, and then there's this soft cover version. And I think that you could carry either one just by itself. I think that if you're going to put it in a cover of any kind, which, let's just be honest, none of these need a cover, but we love to switch out covers and love to see how pretty the leather is. And that's really the only reason why we have these covers most of the time. I mean, some of them do give you like storage and blah, 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 pen loops, but in reality, do we really have to have them? No. But so if you didn't want to use a cover, I can see myself covering this with stickers and carrying it with or without the cover. It does have this elastic to it, so you can keep it closed. So the beauty of this one is you can just throw it into your bag and have it there all the time. And it's super small. And of course, if you take it out of the leather, it's even smaller. This particular cover is a classic, so no pockets of any kind. A classic Chic Sparrow Pemberley in the color Honey. And I love Pemberley so much, and I wish that Chic Sparrow still offered it. I love that there are the pebbles and the texture and the variation. It doesn't scratch or wear as easily as the Austin line, formerly known as Mr. Darcy, but it just wasn't as popular with other people, and I understand Jennifer's business decision to take this one out of the lineup, but I absolutely adore Pemberley, and this honey color, it's just everything. I honestly don't remember if this was a second chance or if it was something I bought in the buy sell trade group. I'm thinking the buy sell trade group because I never ordered a non-deluxe notebook from Chic Sparrow. I always wanted the pockets, but when I saw that there was this big pebbled texture up here, and then it was finer through here, and then it was darker up here and lighter down here, I had to have this notebook. And yeah, so that, yeah, I mean, you can see I have some marks here where it would like sat in my bag, but it doesn't like look bad. But yeah, so I love this notebook so much. I would, and I have tried to make this particular notebook work in here, but I was fighting with the strings, and then I just like my notebooks to sit a certain way. Let's just shorten the whole story by saying that. And I couldn't find a way to make it work where it sat the way I wanted to in this creme, which I love and adore. And I honestly love just how small the profile is of this one in this non-deluxe version, this classic. So the thing about this Moleskine is it's very simple. Like I said, I found this on Amazon. This is the soft cover version, and it is just super simple. So I'm going to skip this particular layout because, well, I think I can show you this page. So I told you in my weeks video that I just did a few days ago that in the, let me grab the weeks that I can show you this in. So in this front spread that has the whole year, not this one, this one. So in this section of the weeks, I track my cycle, I track intimacy, I track any kind of symptoms that I'm having for me personally, so that if I need to talk to a doctor about something, that it's here. So this is like Sam's health pages. And so some of those things I was attempting to track in here, but whereas in this, why did I close that? Sometimes, you know, where there are places to make little notations here. And when I use, well, this is a train wreck. When I use this in my Hobonichi Weeks, I write against the page setup so that I can say blah, 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 or I was taking this supplement, or blah, 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 blah. And so I use this to my advantage. And then I have like a key. So I track different things by a key that I know, and you have this space to write in. So that works out really well for me. And although technically most of the things I can track in here, I don't like the way I see it in this setup as much as the weeks. And then you do have this space here that you can take notes maybe put the date, like if it happened on January 15th, put it here and then write what you want to write. But it kind of, I mean, honestly, if you look at them, it probably is a similar amount of space, just laid out differently. And it doesn't have lines, which is always a difficult one for me. But I do like that you can see that in 2 pages. And then the other thing is, I am not really good at writing small. I have naturally larger handwriting. I've learned to write a little bit smaller because of the Hobonichi Weeks' grid, but for me, it's not natural. And anytime I have more space to write larger, I just naturally go back to that. You don't get a ton of room in here because it's on, first of all, it's pocket size, and then it's just on 1 page. But I don't have a whole lot going on in my life, and it's enough space that it works. These pages are a cream color, similar to the Hobonichi Weeks, so that's not something that bothers me. I do love the simplicity of this. You do have a space for notes down here, and this is another thing that I do. Gosh, am I talking myself into using this planner? No, I have a new weeks cover on the way. It's the story of my life, guys. It starts in July of this year, 2021, but it goes all the way to December of 2022. So it has that separation again. So you have your monthly, you have your monthly, you have your monthly, and then you have another one of those spreads in the middle here with the year on 2 pages, and then it goes back into the monthly. And then you have a calendar for 2023. I mean, I don't know how much better you could get in such few pages for future planning. And then you have these pages that I wouldn't use really. I don't know, it's global holidays. I'm not a global traveler. Time zone map. This is something I would Google, not try to figure out on these pages. And then some measures and conversions, which I feel like I would have rather these pages not been here and made these note pages and threw them in the back. So I mean, I understand why they're here, but I won't use them. Dialing codes. I don't know if you call international, if that's something that you concern yourself with, but it definitely isn't for me. And then there's this page for travel planning. My extraordinary moments this year. So far, that is nothing. And then a blank space. You could cover this with photos. You could cover this with stickers. My inspiring journeys. Again, my life is just not the kind of life that needs these kinds of pages. And then this was a timetable where you would put like your ideal daily plan. So, I mean, this is nifty. I would do this and then tell myself that I couldn't tell myself what to do. So I probably wouldn't be the best person to use this either. So I did use this for 1 week. And as you can see, you can kind of see how I fit things in. Again, if you have a super busy life, this would definitely not work for you. But I'm going to show you the difference between this week in this planner and this week in my Hobonichi Weeks. So I like that with the Hobonichi Weeks, I have some more space, which you can see it's about the same, but this is not as tall, and you have to combine Saturday and Sunday, which isn't like a huge deal or a deal breaker, but you definitely get more room in this one. And sometimes I really like to put like a little snipple, what is wrong with me? Snippet of something that happened that day. I switch things up kind of week by week. So here I was able to put like the really important, like high level things, like what my work schedule was, which I put that here that week, but I don't always do it that way here. But for this, I feel like that's the only natural place to put it. And then I didn't work this day, so I didn't even write off because I didn't have a lot of place to write. Honestly, most of the time, my work schedule, I pop into my work app to see what time I'm in the next day instead of pulling out my planner. So that's not even like it's just for planning purposes. Nice to have it there. But the pen that I was using in this was the Energel Klena, and I don't know what that color is, but it's like a copper ish color, brown, and I love writing in it. The thing that I love about this planner is that the pages are not Tomoe River paper and take ink better without smearing. So I was able to say more here, but was that necessary, or was I trying to fill space? And I think that that's what this one comes down to. This is going to be staying in my rotation because I love this little planner and I would love to make it work, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I found some peace in this that I know that I can't make this everything, because most people that carry this know. Where do I go? I always get like off on these rabbit trails. I will say this because I'll forget it. Most people that use this planner will also carry it in a cover, and then they will carry another little book here. But I don't like the way that feels, and I don't like writing on other books. So for me to carry this, I think that I'm either going to have it on its own or in a cover on its own. And so I'm losing something with that. So getting back to what I was talking about, just the planner itself. I love that you have the pages with a different paper. I don't know what kind, I mean Moleskin's paper. And then the lines are a little bit bolder than the Hobonichi Weeks, and the spaces are a little bit bigger. So I can write a little bit bigger, which is more natural for me. And so it then goes into that for the entire year. And then there's only a couple of pages. I think there's like 5 or 6 pages in the back, one of which I turned into a test page for my pens. The mailman walked by. I don't even know what I was saying, so the little bit of barking that you're going to hear after edit, I'm just going to leave. So back to where I was. So I lose probably, I mean, I could make it scrunched, but I don't think I'd want to scrunch this planner. I lose the ability to track my weather. You don't have a lot of room for a long to-do list or a long to-buy list. So I don't know that I would want to do a habit tracker in here. I mean, I might use like a color code or something and just know what that was tracking and use that, but I don't know that I would take the time or energy to do that. It does have a little bookmark, and there is a pocket in the back here, and I've never even opened this. What is, oh, it has like stickers in here. Well, isn't that cute? Okay, so these little stickers, that is adorable. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so it has the stickers in the pocket, and then it is an accordion pocket, and it has like some stuff on the sides, not paper. So it would hold some stuff for you. But I think that this is a planner that if what I was doing currently in my Hobonichi Weeks with the Mega wasn't working so well for me, I think that I would drop this rather easily and move into this little planner. I do plan on keeping up with this. Oh, I did 2 weeks. Did I do 3? Oh no. Almost. Anyway, this is like, it would definitely take some used to getting, let's try this again. It would definitely take some getting used to scale down this far, but it's definitely a contender and one that I'm not shelving. So my personal Malden is out. My A6 rings is on the waiting to see if I'll use it again. The Pocket TN is definitely not going to work right now as a system, and Hobonichi Cousin is definitely out. And I think that part of planner peace really is about finding out what you don't do anymore. And so I know these things are not working for me right now, and I'm pretty sure spiral planners in general and disc bound planners are out like for good for me. Yeah, they just are problematic for me. But since I'm using the Hobonichi Weeks as a planner and a journal, let me get back to the, I shared one on social media that I was comfortable with sharing, and I don't remember which one it was. So I was gonna just open up to that. But I've been using this as my journal and my planner, and that's been working out really well for me. What am I doing with my life? I just wanted to open it to this page so that you could see. But I have some like stories about work. Here it is. Okay. So I have like stories about work, or where I'm like venting about crazy people, crazy shoplifters at work. And sometimes I use names and stuff. And so I can't show that on social media or I would get in trouble. But anyway, so I am horrible about journaling regularly. And because of that, I don't know why I didn't think to use this before. And I don't honestly remember hearing people talk about using it as a journal. Although some people have told me since then, hey, I've been doing that for a while now. But not that I had seen, or maybe just paid attention to. You know, sometimes when you're just scrolling, and you're like, oh, that's pretty handwriting, or oh, that's a pretty page, or whatever. And you're not like taking the time to be like, oh, that's what they're doing with that. So it's possible that I could have seen it, but it didn't register with me. And so the fact that I don't journal regularly, and this is always with me. Like we went out today to run some errands, and I didn't take my purse. I didn't take my backpack. I only took my like little Vera Bradley thingy-mabob that has my car key and my driver's license and my debit card on it, and the Hobonichi Weeks. And so I only took those two things, and knowing that if I wanted to, like, stop, get a coffee, and I would have a way to journal. Now, I normally journal with my fountain pen, which wasn't with me, but in a pinch, I would like journal in my friction pen. Just knowing that the opportunity is there to journal when I might not have the energy to later, and then not end up journaling about that something. I'm really loving that a lot. So I prefer this paper. I love its small footprint. I would love to see this become a thing for me in the future. I think I'm going to keep updating with it and see how it goes. And really, if I wanted to keep the two of them together all of the time, that wouldn't be a problem because they're really small. But like I said, I generally try to only carry like one book, which is why I hated looking around my journal. I had visions of grandeur with my Stalogy, and that's the only book that I didn't bring over. Let me grab it real quick. I don't even know why I didn't think about it, but I love, I'm super obsessed and in love with this cover from Chic Sparrow. This is the Scout, so it's the Maverick leather on the outside and the creme brulee on the inside for this particular one. This is the Golden Scout, and this was my journal, and I am obsessed with Stalogy paper. I love it, love it, love it. But I don't want to bulk it up with a bunch of stuff to make it a functional planner, and I also don't want to draw everything out and see just my own homemade handwriting all over everything. I love it when I see other people do it. When I try to do it myself, I become completely freaked out, panicked, afraid of messing up. I never think it looks good enough. I always like am in a comparison thing just with myself, like about not feeling good enough, thinking it's not pretty enough, it doesn't look professional, and I love to see other people's, but I have some kind of disconnect in my brain about doing it myself. So I was journaling in this, and I would honestly love to see myself stick with journaling in this instead of the Hobonichi Weeks, because I love this paper so much. And I did a few times try to make this my planner. And so like this is where I like tried to make it my planner. And there are several, you can't tell it from that angle, but if you tried really hard, you could see that I have some pages glued together. And those were failed weeks of trying to make this a bullet journal. Now, if I could let go of my problems with that whole, this isn't a real planner, or find calendar inserts that would make this a functional, to me, planner, that I could stick things down in without this being bulked up, I would. I love the A6 size more for that, but I have this cover that I love so much. But this is so bulky, and I know a lot of you guys love this as your like main planner, but I just see it as so bulky compared to the other two options, and so I don't even know why I didn't bring this over earlier, but I'm definitely keeping this one like loaded and ready because I love this paper so much and I love writing. Let's see, it's not this is the Arteza. But it looks like this. It's one of the, I don't have my pen case with me, but it's the Sarasa vintage color. And so they have a color that's just like that. I think I have the rest of the pack here. Yeah, so it's these vintage colors and they're in 0.5 and I think it's a perfect match. And I love seeing that camel. Yeah, that's the color, camel. I love to see that camel color on my journal pages. So there's a few things here that I love that I still may try to make work, but really right now I'm super happy with just using the Hobonichi Weeks, except for in my fights with this paper. If I didn't have the fights with the paper, I would be much happier and peaceful with it, but I am obsessed with this Giovanni folio and it just makes me happy and makes me smile every time I look at it. And this is just so simple. And so that is why this has won for now, because instead of carrying this around or this around, I can get by with just with this. And as chaotic and stressful as my life has been this year, really the past 3 years, but especially this year, it's really great to not overthink it and to just pick this up and go with it. So that's where I've been. Sorry that this is a longer video, but I feel like, you know, if you can sit through a video and keep listening, that you might learn things when you hear someone's thought process on why something's working, why something didn't work. That hopefully helps some of you with your own planner journeys. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful to you in some way. If you have any questions or just want to chat about your own planner journey, feel free to do so in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm working a lot and super stressed out all the time. So it's sometimes not easy for me to just comment back right away, but I will get to you, I promise. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.